12 possibilities that may appear for Libra throughout 2026. Something is stirring beneath the surface of your life right now, Libra. You may not have a name for it yet, and that is perfectly fine. Some of the most important shifts begin as feelings rather than facts, as quiet stirrings rather than loud announcements. What you are about to hear are 12 possibilities that the energy of 2026 is holding open for you. Not promises, not guarantees, but real, tangible openings that are available to you if you choose to step toward them. Pay attention to the ones that make something inside you light up. That reaction is not random. It is recognition. Possibility 1. The first possibility is that a relationship you have quietly given up on may begin to show unexpected signs of life. This could be a friendship that faded over the years, a family connection that went cold after a disagreement, or even a romantic bond that lost its spark so gradually you barely noticed it happening. Something about the energy of this year is stirring things that have been dormant, bringing them back to the surface not to cause pain but to offer a second chance. And as a Libra, you understand second chances better than most. You know that people grow, that circumstances change, that the things that divided you once may no longer carry the same weight they did before. This does not mean you should force anything or chase after someone who has already walked away. It means keeping your heart open to the possibility that reconnection could happen naturally, organically, in a way that feels right rather than desperate. Watch for small signs, an unexpected message, a memory that keeps returning, a dream that lingers after you wake. These are not coincidences. They are invitations. And the way you respond to them, with grace, with openness, with the balanced perspective that is your greatest strength, will determine whether this possibility becomes reality. Possibility 2. The second possibility is a financial shift that comes not from luck or windfall, but from a decision you have been putting off. There is something in your financial life that has been sitting in a state of limbo for too long. Perhaps it is an investment you have been meaning to make, an account you have been meaning to close, a conversation about money that you have been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable or confrontational. This year, the energy is pushing that decision to the front of the line. And here is what makes this so important for you specifically. Libras often struggle with financial decisions because you want to be fair to everyone involved, including yourself, and sometimes those interests seem to conflict. But 2026 is teaching you that taking care of your own financial well-being is not selfish. It is necessary. It is the foundation upon which everything else in your life rests. When your finances are stable, your relationships improve because you are not carrying the stress of uncertainty. Your health improves because you are not lying awake at night worrying. Your creativity improves because your mind is free to think about possibilities rather than problems. The shift that is available to you this year starts with one decision, one conversation, one action that you have been circling around for months or even years. Take it. Possibility 3. The third possibility involves your physical body and the way you have been treating it. There is a shift available to you this year that goes beyond exercise or diet. It touches the very way you inhabit your physical form. For many Libras over 60, there has been a subtle disconnection from the body, a tendency to live primarily in the mind, in thoughts, in analysis, in the constant weighing of options. And while your mental gifts are extraordinary, they have sometimes come at the expense of your physical awareness. This year, something is calling you back into your body. It might show up as an interest in a new form of movement, something gentle and rhythmic that feels more like a conversation with your muscles than a punishment. It might show up as a shift in the way you think about food, moving away from restriction and toward nourishment, toward eating things that make you feel alive rather than simply full. Or it might show up as something even simpler, a desire to spend more time outdoors, to feel the sun on your skin, to walk barefoot in the grass and remember what it feels like to be connected to the earth beneath you. Whatever form this calling takes, pay attention to it. Your body is not just a vehicle that carries your mind around. It is a partner in everything you do, and this year, it is asking for more attention, more care, more love. Possibility 4. The fourth possibility is that someone younger than you is going to need your wisdom in a way that surprises you both. This is not about grandparenting or mentoring in the traditional sense, though it could include those things. This is about a moment of genuine connection where someone looks at you and sees not just an older person but a source of real, lived truth. They will come to you with a question or a problem that they cannot solve with the tools their generation has given them, and your experience, your perspective, Your ability to see both sides of any situation will give them exactly what they need. And here is the part that matters most. This exchange will change you as much as it changes them, because in the act of sharing your wisdom, you will rediscover parts of yourself that you had forgotten. You will remember how much you have overcome, how much you have learned, how much strength you carry inside you. And that remembering will reignite something that may have been flickering low. Your sense of purpose. Because purpose, at its deepest level, is not about what you do for a living or how you fill your days. It is about the impact you have on the people around you, and this year that impact is going to be more significant than you expect. Possibility 5. The fifth possibility is that a creative impulse you have been ignoring will finally demand your attention. Every Libra carries artistic sensibility, whether or not they consider themselves creative. It lives in the way you arrange your space, the way you choose your words, the way you notice beauty in things that others overlook. But somewhere along the way, many Libras set their creative impulses aside. Life got busy. Responsibilities piled up. There were always more practical things to do, more pressing needs to address, more people to take care of. And slowly, quietly, the creative part of you went to sleep. This year it is waking up. You may feel it as a restlessness, an itch that you cannot quite scratch, a sense that something is missing even though you cannot name it, that something is your creativity, and it is ready to be expressed. This does not mean you need to take a class or produce something for public consumption. It means following whatever impulse feels alive inside you, whether that is writing letters to people you love, arranging flowers in a way that makes your heart sing, cooking without a recipe and trusting your instincts, or simply allowing yourself to daydream without guilt. The creative energy that wants to move through you this year is not asking for perfection. It is asking for permission. Give it that and watch what happens. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Possibility 6. The sixth possibility is that a habit you have carried for most of your life will quietly, almost effortlessly, fall away. Not through willpower or discipline, but through a shift in the way you see yourself. There is something you have been doing for so long that it feels like part of your identity. Maybe it is a way of speaking to yourself that is unkind. Maybe it is a pattern of saying yes when every part of you wants to say no. Maybe it is a tendency to put yourself last, to attend to everyone else's needs before even acknowledging your own. Whatever it is, this year brings the energy of release. Not the painful, wrenching kind of release that leaves you feeling raw and exposed, but the gentle kind. The kind that feels like setting down a bag you have been carrying for so long that you forgot it was there. And when it falls away, you will feel lighter. You will feel like yourself in a way you have not felt in years, maybe decades. Because that habit was never really you. It was a survival strategy, a coping mechanism, a response to circumstances that no longer exist. And now that those circumstances have changed, the habit no longer serves you. Let it go. You do not need it anymore. Possibility 7. The seventh possibility is that your definition of home will expand or shift in a way you did not anticipate. This could be literal. A move, a renovation, a rearrangement of your space that changes the way it feels to walk through your own front door. Or it could be more internal, a shift in what home means to you on an emotional and spiritual level. For much of your life, home may have been defined by the people in it, by the relationships that filled the rooms with conversation and warmth and sometimes conflict. But as those dynamics have changed, as children have grown and moved on, as partners have come or gone, your relationship with your physical space has shifted too. This year, there is an opportunity to create a home that is truly yours. Not a reflection of someone else's needs or preferences, but an expression of who you are right now, in this moment, in this season. That might mean letting go of furniture that carries memories you no longer want to live inside of. It might mean adding something new, something that represents the person you are becoming rather than the person you were. Whatever it looks like, this shift is important because your environment shapes your energy, and your energy shapes your life. Possibility 8. The eighth possibility is that a health concern you have been carrying will begin to improve, not through some miracle cure, but through a combination of attention, patience, and the right support. This is particularly relevant for Libras, who often carry physical tension in the lower back, the kidneys, and the areas around the hips. These are the parts of your body that correspond to balance, to your ability to stand firmly on your own 2 feet, while remaining flexible enough to move with life's changes. If you have been experiencing discomfort in these areas, 2026 brings the possibility of real relief. But it requires you to stop ignoring what your body is telling you. It requires you to seek help if you need it, to ask questions, to be an active participant in your own healing, rather than a passive recipient of whatever comes. Your body is remarkably resilient. It wants to heal. It has been trying to heal. And this year, the circumstances are aligning to support that process in ways they have not before. Pay attention to the practitioners who cross your path, the recommendations that come from unexpected sources, the small changes in routine that seem insignificant, but turn out to be exactly what your body needed. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Possibility 9. The 9th possibility is that a truth you have been avoiding will become impossible to ignore, and facing it will set you free. Every person carries at least one truth that they have been looking away from, something they know but have not been ready to act on. For Libras, these avoided truths often live in the realm of relationships. You may know deep down that a certain relationship has run its course. You may know that a certain pattern needs to change. You may know that a certain conversation needs to happen. But your desire for peace, for harmony, for keeping things smooth has kept you from facing it head-on. This year, that avoidance reaches its expiration date. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because you have grown strong enough to handle the truth. And here is the beautiful paradox. The thing you have been avoiding is almost never as frightening as the avoidance itself. The energy you have spent dancing around it, managing it, pretending it does not exist, that energy has been far more exhausting than simply facing the truth would be. When you finally turn toward it, when you let yourself see it clearly and speak it honestly, something remarkable happens. The weight lifts, the air clears, and the peace you have been protecting by avoiding the truth turns out to be nothing compared to the peace that comes from telling it. Possibility 10. The 10th possibility is that you will experience a moment of profound clarity about your purpose, and that moment will be unlike anything you have felt before. This is not about career or productivity or achievements. This is about understanding at the deepest level why you are here, what your life has been building toward, what all the lessons and losses and loves have been preparing you for. That kind of clarity does not come on command, and it cannot be forced, but it can be invited. And you invite it by slowing down, by paying attention, by treating your life as though it matters. Because it does. This year, keep your eyes open for the moment when everything suddenly makes sense. It might come while you are doing something completely ordinary, washing dishes, watching the sky change color, listening to a piece of music you have heard 1,000 times. And in that moment, you will understand that your purpose was never about doing something extraordinary. It was about being someone extraordinary, someone who loved deeply, who forgave bravely, who sought beauty in everything, who refused to give up on the possibility that life could be graceful and fair. That is your purpose, and it has been your purpose all along. These 12 possibilities are not predictions written in stone, and they are not fantasies designed to make you feel good for a few minutes before reality sets back in. They are openings. Real, available, waiting for you openings that the energy of 2026 has prepared specifically for someone with your nature, your experience, your particular kind of wisdom. But openings do not stay open forever. They require a response. They require you to lean in, to say yes, to take the first step even when you cannot see the entire staircase. You have spent your whole life preparing for a year like this. A year where the scales tip not toward difficulty but toward possibility. Not toward loss but toward reclamation. Not toward endings but toward the most beautiful kind of beginning. The kind that is built on everything you have already survived and everything you have already become. You have 2 options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.